Inoa kumakai sigatigoya kiano, ni hio kisigatsuno. Yagum kanagatamat no niso, atsumuna. We are called Enoch by the spirits, but as human beings we call ourselves Nihio, and we are storytellers. We are a storytelling people. So I will leave you with two teachings. Kanagatamat no, I'll leave you with them. The first one is about my uncle. Just over 10 years ago, my uncle, he's a drinking man. He liked his alcohol, and he drank for most of his life. And he was also a hunter. He would go further north, and he would go hunting. And it was one of those times in the middle of January, he hitched a ride to this little town, and he went to the bar. And he went and bought a little bit of groceries, and then he went to the bar, and he had a few drinks, and he stayed longer than he had intended. So when he started making his way to the trap line, to that place where he would go and hunt, it was about 10 miles away. And so he started walking down the road and making his way to the trap line. The next morning he was found frozen to death by the road, this old dirt road. And he was frozen to death. And when he was found, he still had a little bit of groceries and some beer. And so they took him back to the hospital, to the local hospital. They took him down to the morgue. And for 3 days, he was in the morgue. And then my uncle said that when he woke up, he didn't know where he was. And so he started making his way. He's seen these stairs, and he started making his way up. And he was knocking at the door because the door was locked, and he's knocking on the door. And there was this nurse walking by. And that must have been really funny for the nurse, because here's this door to the morgue, and someone's knocking there. So she, showed some bravery, I guess, and she unlocked the door. And then my uncle opened the door, and then the nurse started screaming. And my uncle, not really knowing why, he just came out into the hallway, and the nurse went running, and she was screaming, and there was this doctor standing at the end of the hall with his mouth open, and they were just shocked because my uncle had passed away for 3 days. He had been in that morgue for 3 days. So after that, they examined him, of course, and then he was released. And later that spring, my uncle requested that a ceremony be done. And he wasn't much into ceremonies because he respected them so much, and he was drinking at the time. But this time, he wanted a sweat lodge to be done. And my dad was one of the people that was called to join in this ceremony, in this sweat lodge. So they all went in there. And my uncle said that he had something to share. So in that sweat lodge, he told that when he was gone for those 3 days, he went to the spirit world, and he was sent back. And he was told that he must come back and tell the people 4 laws. He was told to bring back 4 laws, kapiatsamut, to come and share in this world. Yegunuhe kitsamanto uyasuyuna, the most sacred of the Creator's laws that he was told. The first one he was told to tell is that we must have compassion for the orphan children. Yewanimanto otoasimsa. These are the Creator's children, that we must look after them and have compassion for them. The second one is jealousy. In the Cree people, with the Cree people, there's 2 kinds of jealousies. Kahkuihtamun, mina Uhti tamun. Kahkui tamun. Kahkui tamun is that human jealousy between a man and a woman. He's not talking about that jealousy. My uncle was talking about Uhti tamun. Uhti tamun is that human jealousy where you're jealous of a person's success, a person's money, or a person's brand new vehicle. That human jealousy is what my uncle was talking about. He said, don't do that. Don't be jealous of a person's success. Don't be jealous of that person's well-being. Because you be thankful, he said. Be thankful to witness the Creator's work unfolding before you. Because that Creator is blessing that person. The Creator is blessing that person maybe because that person had suffered at some time in their life and they're being blessed. The Creator told my uncle, tell people that when they get jealous like that, they've broken a law. And when they break that law, it makes it difficult for them to live in their own life. The third one is kasagatsun. Kasagatsun is greediness. Don't be greedy. Be generous. Be compassionate. Always share what you have. Greediness diminishes your connection with the Creator. It's a troubling time when you become greedy in your life. And the fourth law is don't put another human being on a pedestal. We are all pathetic as human beings. We are so easily swayed. We're infallible. We're troubled people. So when you put another human being on a pedestal, you're putting them above human beings, and you can't do that. You cannot do that. The Creator created all of us as human beings to follow the same laws. So those are the four laws that my uncle came back with to talk about and to share here. He said that when he leaves this world, he wanted my father to share these laws as much as possible, because he spent his time drinking when he was here. He said that when it's time for him to leave, he has to answer to the Creator for that. He has to answer for that. And he said that if we share these laws as much as possible, then he will get closer and closer to the Creator. It'll make his time in the spirit world easier and his journey to the Creator quicker. So I give permission to all of you to share this and to help in sharing these teachings. Yakwama.